with a very important topic, that is the operation of real numbers. We have already discussed about the rational numbers and irrational numbers, and the combine of rational and irrational is called real numbers. So today the topic what we are going to discuss is one of the most important topic about the real numbers. So let's see what it is. So I have divided this into the two parts. In this we learn about the addition subtraction of the rational and irrational numbers. So let us understand this. First I have written the rational number plus rational numbers. What it says, the sum of two rational numbers, is it possible or not? We can say yes, it is possible. How? Let's understand by an example. If I take any two rational numbers, 1 by 2 and 3 by 4. So we know that the addition is possible by taking the LCM, whatever the answer it is. What we are discussing here, whether whatever the operation is written here, is it possible or not. Then how to do it, that we'll discuss further. But in this topic we are discussing whether the operation between the real numbers, that is between the rational and irrational, is it possible or not. We are discussing that only today. So we can say that rational plus rational, that means the addition of two rational number is possible. Now the rational minus rational, again the same, the subtraction of two rational number is also possible. If I say 2 by 3 minus 5 by 7, so again it is possible. Fine. Let's go for the next. I have written irrational plus rational. The operation is addition, but between which two numbers? Between the rational numbers and between the rational numbers and irrational numbers. So let's see whether it is possible or not. If I take any irrational number and any rational number, we always remember it can never be possible. The addition of rational and irrational, never possible. It's never possible. Remember this. If it is like this, root 3 plus 2, so again it's not possible, because this number is irrational and this number is rational, so the addition between these two numbers is not possible. The same way, the subtraction between the rational and irrational is again not possible. The subtraction between the rational and irrational is not possible. See, the last one is the most important to understand. Maximum students are doing the mistake here. I have written rational plus or minus irrational. मतलब irrational और irrational का addition subtraction possible है के नहीं. So let us see that. If I take one rational, irrational and another irrational, so here we can say this addition does not possible. The reason, this irrational number and this irrational numbers are unlike. That is the reason. They are unlike irrational numbers. Now the question arises, then what are the like irrational numbers? So let's have an example. If I take any number, root 2. Suppose another irrational number is 3 root 2. So now this 2, both are irrational. This is irrational, this is also irrational. 3 root 2 is an irrational. So we should remember these are like irrational numbers. Why it is like? You can see that both irrationals are with the same number. So the sum of these two is possible. Now what could be the sum? As we discussed, ये दोनों like irrational number है, तो इसका addition possible है. कैसे करेंगे addition? हमें पता है what is the addition of x and 3x. Correct, it is 4x. The same way, when we do the addition of root 2 and 3 root 2, it is 4 root 2. मतलब हमें जो irrational numbers हैं उसको हमें एक variable की तरह समझ लेना है. Let's have one more example. If I write 4 root 3 minus 2 root 3, तो पहले हमें चेक करना ये जो irrational number है ये like है कि नहीं है. If it is like irrational, तो yes, the addition subtraction is possible. अब एडिशन सब्ट्रैक्शन पॉसिबल है तो कैसे करेंगे? सो फॉरगेट अबाउट दिस √3, हम इसको भूल जाएंगे. नाउ व्हाट इज 4 minus 2? The answer is 2. But as the irrational is √3, so the answer is 2√3. Are you getting this? So this is very important to understand. Thank you. Let's continue with few more examples of operations between irrational and irrational. As I told you, it is very important to understand. If I'll give you one question, one example, √8 minus √2. So is it possible or not? Okay, there are few says, sir, it is not possible. So let me tell you, no, it is possible. So as I explain you that this both must be like, but it is √8 and it is √2. So how they are like? So let us understand this. See, √8 is what? It's 2 into 2 into 2. It's 2 square into 2. So we can say 2 square, the square root is possible. So it can be written 2√2. So √8 can be written 2√2. So 2√2 minus √2. Now you can see they both are like irrational. So we should consider 2x minus x. So 2 minus 1. So that is 1. So answer is √2. Let's have one more example to understand this. Let's take another example. It's √18 minus √2. So again we can consider at the first sight we can see no, it's not possible. But let us understand √18. 18 when we find the prime factor, so it is 2 into 3 into 3. So that is 2 into 3 square. We can see 3 is a perfect number to take out from the square. So 3√2. So now this can be written 3√2 minus √2. So you can see that this are become like irrational. तो हमें क्या करना है? हमें इसके कोएफिशिएंट का एडिशन सब्ट्रैक्शन करना है. ये 3 है, यहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं, तो इट इज 1. सो 3 minus 1, so that is 2 and √2 as it is. Let's see one more example to understand this. The number is √12 plus √3. So let us understand how the √12 is supposed to be written. So √12, so prime factors are 2 into 2 into 3. It's 4 3s, that is why. So 2 is 2 times and 3 is 1. So this can be written 2√3. So √12 is 2√3 plus √3. So we can say yes, they are like. So 2 plus 1, we have to just do the addition of coefficient. 2 plus 1, that is 3, and the irrational would remain as it is. Let's have one more example to understand. This is 3√2 plus 2√3. So what would be the answer of this? Correct. You can say it is not possible. Why it is not possible? Because this both are unlike irrational number. That's very good. Thank you. Let us continue with the operations of real numbers. The first we have seen that about the addition, subtraction. Now it is the multiplication and division. So rational and rational can multiply. Any two rational that is possible. That is half into 3 by 9. Whatever it is. This answer is 3 by 9. So it is possible. The same way the division of the two rational is also possible. A rational into irrational. That means the product of rational number. Suppose 2 upon 3. And irrational number, it is √2. So it's not possible. Suppose it is like this, 2 into 3√2. Suppose it is like this. So you can see that here in the 3√2, 3 is a rational number. So we can multiply 2 3s, so it becomes 6 and √2 as it is. But this 2 could not be multiplied with √2. Let's see one more example. If I say it is 2 into √8, so we cannot write √16 or only 16. But you can say that, as we discussed earlier, that √8 can also be written 2√2. So now this 2 and 2 both are rational. So 2 2s are 4 and root 2. This how it could be written. So we should remember, whenever the numbers, irrational numbers are given in this form, we have to convert that into the smallest form. The same way the rational divided by irrational. So again, whenever it is about the division, so it is the same formula. It won't be divisible. 2 divided by root 2. So this division could not be possible. But if I have written 3 root 3 upon 3, so this 3 could be cancelled. Because this is rational, this is also rational. Let's have one more example. Suppose root 12 upon 2. So I cannot do 2 6 are 12. No, because root 12 itself is an irrational number. So root 12 can be written 2 root 3 as we discussed earlier. And upon 2. Now this 2 could be cancelled. I hope you got it. Thank you. Let us see one more operation, that is between the two irrational numbers. So here the product between two irrational numbers is always possible. Let's take one irrational number root 3, another irrational number root 3. As we discussed in the operation of addition and subtraction, that it can be possible if they are like irrational. But here in the multiplication, that the irrational numbers, if they are unlike, then also this product is possible. We can say that this step is not necessary to do. Let's have one more question. Suppose 3 root 2 into root 6. So we should remember this irrational multiply with the irrational rule. This rational remain as it is. Root 6 root 2. 6 2s are 12 and root 12. Then as we discussed earlier that root 12 can be written to root 3. So at last the answer is 6 root 3. Are you getting this? See, this could be done by the different way also. 3 root 2. So root 6 can be written into root 3 into root 2. Now you can see that this root 2 into root 2. As we discussed earlier also, the square of any square root number is the number itself. So 3 remains as it is. Root 2 into root 2 become 2. And this root 3 remains as it is. So again we obtain the same answer. So thus the product between any two irrational number is always possible. Let's understand the same way the division between two irrational numbers. So again the method won't be changed. The division between two irrational numbers. So irrational when divided with another irrational number. So let's see how it would be done. So if I divide root 6 with root 2, so this could be understand like 6 by 2. You can also write root 6 upon root 2. So that could be written like this, and 2 3s are 6. So the answer is root 3. Like the same. Let's have one more. Root 18 upon root 3. So as we discussed, can be written root 18 upon 3. 3 9s are, 6 are. So the answer is root 6. Suppose it is 2 root 3 upon 3 root 3. So this root 3 would be cancelled. So answer is 2 by 3. So the answer of irrational divide with irrational. It can be the irrational. It can be the rational. I hope you got it. These are very important steps to understand. Let's see the first question of exercise 1.1. In this question, we have to identify the given numbers are rational or irrational numbers, which we have just discussed earlier by doing the operations. So you can see that here this is rational, this is irrational. We discussed earlier also that the subtraction of rational and irrational can never be possible. So the number which we obtain is always an irrational number. So this is an irrational number. Now look at this number. It is 3 plus root 23 and open the bracket minus root 20. There are two irrational numbers which we have. We discussed earlier whenever the irrational numbers are in the addition subtraction, the simplification is possible if and only if the given are like, as they are like, would be cancelled. So this is 3, and we know that 3 is a rational number. Let's see this third number, root 7 and root 7. As both are like irrational numbers, so would be cancelled. So the number remains 2 by 7, which is p by q form. So this is a rational number. Let's see one more. It's 1 upon root 2. 1 is a rational, root 2 is an irrational. The division is not possible, so it is a rational number. See, the operation is very important, which we discussed. It's 2 pi. Pi itself is an irrational. I'm sorry, this one is an irrational. I'm really sorry. It is an irrational number. As we discussed, pi is an irrational number, so this number is an irrational number. I hope you got it. Thank you. Let's continue the question number 2, and we have to simplify the given numbers. See that the given expressions and look at the relations. As this 2 in the first bracket, we have the two numbers. One is rational, irrational. So this could not be simplified. The same for this bracket. So now we should remember we have to simplify by using the simple distributive property. That means this 3 should multiply with 2 root 2, and this root 3 is multiplied again with 2 root 2. That is 2 plus root 2. Again the distributive property, 3 with 2 plus 3 with root 2. The same with this, root 3 with 2 plus root 3 with root 2. Now we remember, we discuss rational, irrational. The product is possible, 3 2s are 6. Rational, irrational, product is not possible, 3 root 2. Rational, irrational, product is not possible, so 2 root 3. Root 3, root 2, irrational, irrational, product is possible, so it is root 6. As you obtain the last step, look at all these 4 terms. Do you find any like terms are there? Rational, irrational, irrational, irrational. There are 3 rational numbers, but no numbers are like numbers. So we can say that this number is our answer. Let's see one more question. Here it is 3 plus root 3 and 3 minus root 3. Rational, irrational, rational, irrational. If you observe this, they are in the form of a plus b, a minus b, which we have discussed in the 8th standard. So the answer is a square minus b square. So if I use the same funda for this, the square of first term minus square of second. As it is 3, this is root 3. The square of 3, that is 9. Square of root 3 is 3 itself. So the answer is 6. Let's see one more question. The question is root 5 plus root 2 the whole square. So like it is a plus b the whole square. Again the formula we'll discuss, a square plus 2ab plus b square. So let us use the same formula, a square of first term, 2 to bracket and square of second term. The first term is root 5, this is root 5, root 2 and root 2. Square of any irrational is the number itself, so it is 5. As these 3 are in the product, this is rational, irrational, irrational. So rational can never multiply with irrational, but irrational with irrational is possible to product. 5 2s are 10. Square of root 2 is 2. Now we have 3 terms, 1, 2 and 3. Out of 3 you can see that 5 and 2, they are rational. Remember this number is 2 root 10 as a whole number. ये पूरा number irrational है. There are few students are doing 5 plus 2 7. No, that is wrong. We are not taking only 2 in the consideration, only 2 with the 5. No, it's the whole number. ये पूरा एक number है 2 root 10 और ये पूरा number irrational है. So 5 plus 2 that is 7 plus 2 root 10. So एक rational, एक irrational, the addition could not be possible. Thank you.